You're now locked in to the Stoic Builder podcast. Stoicism teaches us to master the self, to build our lives with reason, resilience, and virtue. It is the art of inner architecture, constructing strength where there is struggle and clarity where there is chaos. In the trades, a builder begins the same way, with a foundation. Without a level base, nothing built can stand true. Once the foundation is set, the walls rise strong, measured, steady. Then come the inner systems, the unseen parts, vital yet quiet. And above it all, the roof, shelter from storm and time. But a careless leak left unseen can rot it all from within. So too in life. This podcast is where that metaphor lives, where craftsmanship meets character, where we speak with tradesmen, thinkers, who build with their hands and their minds, who see life itself as something to be constructed with care, by code, with love, because building well, be it a home or life, is not a single act, but a steady process, one brick, one day, one virtue at a time. Welcome to this, welcome to the Stoic Builder podcast. All right. Okay, our special guest today, sir, please introduce yourself.
My name is Pedro Villanueva.
What's up, Pedro? How you doing, sir?
Good.
All right. You know what? This is our first episode. I really wanted to open up. We had a vision. We talk about this. It's like literally you could start a podcast out of this class itself. I started in the trades very young. I think in our society, some of us lack a rite of passage, and the trades have been that for me. It's like you enter young, not knowing what you're going to get into, and you have your elders share all that knowledge. And the more you're into it, you figure out that what you're doing applies to life itself. And to have you here as our first guest kind of brings that to fruition. I'd like for you to give, kind of your own intro and just kind of like, let's get comfortable and let's talk about it. Let's start when, how you got into ROP.
All right. So I got into ROP. Well, one, my sister was, she's older than me by a couple of years.
Hold on, I'm so sorry. I had dropped the mic. Let's do that over. Okay, let's do that. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, so how I got into ROP was, my sister was actually in ROP with one of the students here's moms. She did the medical class. And so she really liked it. She actually volunteered. I forgot the name of the hospital, but it's right down the street. And so she had the opportunity and said, "Hey, this is a cool program. We should definitely take it." And so when I'm from San Leandro, so San Leandro High School brought us on a field trip here, and I saw the class, and I knew I wanted to work in construction. I've been in construction throughout my life with my dad visiting job sites when I was a kid. So I always thought it was super cool, and I knew that's what I wanted to do. So when I saw that there was a class here, I was like, man, I definitely want to do that. So junior year of high school, I wanted to take the construction technology program, and it was one of the best decisions I've ever done. It was pretty cool. And I learned a ton. I mean, you guys could see what we built out there in those 2 years. And so it was a great experience for me and my fellow teammates at the time.
Nice. After ROP, what led you? I mean, how was the struggle? Because that's one of my biggest fears with the students, right? We could come here and make amazing monuments that you guys built, that's because you have instructors that care, instructors that want to see you succeed. But once you go out to the real world, it's dog eat dog. You know what I'm saying? It's like, some people don't want to share knowledge. Some people, and I think it's in all kinds of, aspects of the work world. Some people just don't want to see you win. Like, how did you build that determination to bridge an ROP style course to then applying that to real life and seeking employment,
So it wasn't easy. Like when I took this class, I obviously, junior year, we got a lot done. We even took OSHA 10, which at the time I didn't know that it was going to help out as much as it did, but it did. And then, so I had my senior year, I had student of the year, and then plus, obviously the construction master certificate. And so I was like, okay, I got this, now what? And so, my dad's been working for DPR for a couple of years now, almost 20 years. And I thought it was going to be, I'll go work for DPR. That was my way of seeing it. I'll just go straight out of high school into the carpenters union. Boy, was I wrong. So I couldn't get into DPR even as a laborer. At the time, it was super slow. And so I knew I wanted to join the construction. I wanted to do anything. I just wanted to get in and start making money. I mean, that was my biggest motivator, is to start making some of my own income. And so, my dad recommended, hey, well, slow right now, join the asbestos union. And that was the easiest union to get into. It's probably one of the hardest, unhealthiest, jobs out there. And so I joined the asbestos union, paid about, I think at the time it was about $600, $700 of union fees, to get into the union. And then you go to a school in San Ramon for a week, to talk about abatement and hazards of asbestos and how it causes cancer if you're not careful and whatnot. And so, it was tough. It was by far one of the hardest jobs that I've done. It's not fun. You have to wear a full Tyvek suit, which we call a bunny suit. And then you have to wear a full face mask as well. While chipping, digging, demoing walls for 8 hours, you're in the suit the whole day. And so when you leave work at the end of the day, you take it off and you're just fully wet of sweat and everything's wet. There's no other way around it. And so, that's how I joined, the construction, industry. But, once I was there, it got slow as well, which probably was one of the best things that could have happened for me. So 6 months in, got slow. I ended up looking for work, and at the time, the Apple campus was happening in Cupertino, the Apple Campus 2, what is now called the Spaceship. And so I was able to join there. DPR was actually leaving that campus at the time, and Rudolph and Sledden was coming in, and they were looking for laborers. And so I was able to get in. I applied. They called me, hey, go switch unions and pay the dues. So I had to switch the unions again, pay another $800 to switch the unions to the laborers union. And then I was able to apply for this job. So, on the first day when I got the call, I took my certificates, my high school diploma. I took my construction, master certificate. Nice. And my OSHA 10 certificate. And I remember the supervisor at the time was like, what is all of this? And I was like, well, it's a class that I took. I know carpentry. I did a lot of carpentry work. He's like, oh yeah? I was like, yeah, I know how to read blueprints and whatnot as well. He was like, okay. He was like, well, I'm gonna put you to a test then. He called another superintendent over and was like, hey, you're not gonna work on the Apple campus today. You're gonna go work at the West Valley Mall.
Oh wow. Mm-hmm.
And so went over there with the superintendent, and superintendent was like, hey, what walls do we need a demo? And he's like, here's the prints. So I looked at the prints and started telling him what walls we need a demo. He's like, all right, those are it. Spray paint them all. And so spray painted demo on all the walls, and spent a day with him doing some layout and looking at grid lines and setting up some reference points on where the center of columns are. And after that, we went back to the office, and he told the person that hired me, which was he was a labor foreman at the time, and so he said, "Hey, this guy doesn't need to be a laborer; he needs to be a carpenter."
How about that?
Yeah. So that.
How about that?
Yeah. So that right there was what was super cool. Obviously, I was like, man, that's cool, and so didn't get promoted or didn't get moved to a carpenter right away. It took about, I would say, 3 to 6 months, but at the time, like, I worked hard every day, showed up on time, worked Saturdays, worked overtime, did whatever they asked me to do. If I had to go scrape mud off the bottom of the mud pit, I'd go scrape mud, so it's like I just worked hard every day. And then they trusted me enough to be in charge of all the tools and hey, you're in charge of the Connex. And a lot of people just see that as they don't like you out in the field to go take care of the Connex, but
they're trying to keep you.
Yeah, they're trying to keep you, and the Connex wasn't organized, and so I built shelves for nails, had my nails separate. That's something that I learned here is always have your nails and screws separate. So I separated everything. I built shelves. I knew where every bit was. I organized everything, so whenever a carpenter or laborer needed something, I handed it over to them, and that's another thing that impressed them a lot was, man, he's organized. He could do this without us telling him. He takes initiative, and that's what the trades are lacking a lot nowadays is initiative. So it's good to have great teachers and instructors to help you, but at the end of the day, everyone needs to take their own initiative, and that's what I did. That's how I've been successful through my construction career. Do you want me to keep that?
Yeah, no. I wanted to definitely point out something. I think I asked that question because a lot of us have this assumption, and I kind of deal with it with the students too, right? It's like, okay, I did this course, I'm ready to go get a job. I'm gonna become an electrician. I'm gonna become, like, you have these high expectations. You had that high expectation going to go work for DPR, which is an amazing company. While your father was in there, but that's not what you got. Yeah. You were out there literally in a Darth Vader suit, and working with masks and not just with a mask and a whole bodysuit, but working with asbestos. Yeah. For those that don't know, asbestos is this thing that they used back in, I don't know, in the 1900s, and they used it for everything. And if it gets in the air, it gets in your lungs, it has like these, like a barbed wire, and it gets stuck to your lungs, and then your lungs grow over it. And then that's what causes cancer. So a lot of asbestos jobs that happen is demoing that stuff, getting rid of it so they could do, rebuilds or remodels. And, so, you graduate, you got your hopes up and be a carpenter. Yeah. It didn't happen. Nope. It didn't happen, but you didn't give up. Nope. You didn't give up. You stayed in the trades. You did your work. And how much of what you learned here do you think helped you to the course itself, paying attention to the course with instructor Bill? I took over after Bill retired, so I had big shoes to fill. We shout out to Bill. I can hear nothing but great things, and the things that he built too are amazing. And just, stepping into this place, how much do you think those lessons that you learned here, that you paid attention to, kind of focused you to be like, yeah, this is for me?
Yeah. So, I mean, it started with just like, while taking this class, I could go home and show my dad what I could build, right? Like, hey, I know how to use a speed square. I can use SkillsUSA, I can use a drill, and just say, hey, the fence is broken at the house. I started fixing things, and my dad saw that. He's like, oh shit, you're actually learning a lot. And I'm like, yeah, this is a cool class. And I mean, the biggest thing is and I wouldn't say just about the construction, and I could say you're a great example of someone that they should look up to. Mr. D was the same. So Bill was the same, and he took a lot of pride in his work and was always on time, ready, went out of his way to do things. And so I respected that. And again, even when it was time to joke around and play around or have the barbecue, it was time to relax. But when it was time to get to work and get going, I was the first one to roll out the cord and get the skill saws ready and check the blades and whatnot. So I took that a lot into consideration, and just it helped a ton with we started with that old platform over there, just setting the foundation and putting the sill plate on 2x4 and then throwing up the plywood, and just those lessons alone, learning that, learning how to pour concrete, how to do your form, that alone teaches you a lot of what you're going to do out in the construction industry, and just using your tools, speed, square, tape measure. Like I can't tell you how many times I've gotten brand new project engineers that don't know how to read a tape measure, right? So just something simple as much as learning a tape measure is huge, and angles and whatnot. That's huge knowledge that I took from here to the field, where I wasn't someone new coming in. I was already experienced. I mean, I took this class for 2 years, so I was experienced. I was young. I was hungry, and people saw that and they're like, okay, this kid wants to continue to learn, and he's actually willing to work, show up on time, show up early, show up with my pants up, show up with construction clothes ready to go, and show them that I could keep up with them or do whatever they asked me to was kind of my focus going in.
Nice, man, super cool. It gives me goosebumps, right? Just to hear, what you took in and how much that helped you. And, that's what we try to teach here, show up, ready to work, proper clothing, good attitude, and a willingness to learn, and that will take you far. Now, I have three exceptional students right here. They have some questions for you. We wrote up these questions. We thought they'd be there. 5 questions. We have 3 students. So 2 of you will ask, or, let's do it like that. So I'm going to pass. Can you pass that microphone to her? And I'll pass this microphone to you.
So, good morning. Yeah. My name is Adriana Leon. And like you, I actually got senior year last year. But the only difference for me was that I was the only girl in this class. So it kind of made it difficult. This is...
So my name is Joshua Sanchez, and
my name is Pedro Villanueva, and I really want to become a plumber in the future.
Nice. All right, guys. All right. Hey, Jana, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get into this class and how? Yeah, she's got a good story, guys. She's had a hell of a story. She's actually going to be one of our podcast guests coming up. She just came back from SkillsUSA, Student of the Year. Shows up in here 2 years, and so yeah, how'd you end up in this class again?
So I actually didn't even want to be in this class. I actually wanted to go to medical because my original plan was to be X-ray technician, but I got into this class because it was my second option. And after I got in here, I was talking to my grandfather because he was actually the one in the construction trades. And I said, well, I don't know if I really want to be in there. I don't know how it's going to be. I'm the only girl, and I don't feel like I fit in. He was like, just do the best you can. Just give 100% all the time. And that's exactly what I did. And I actually fell in love with it here. And I actually fell in love with doing mostly electrical work. But yeah, so after high school, that's exactly what I want to go into.
Electrical.
Yep.
You want to pick one of the questions out of there to ask?
I mean, yeah, mine. So
pick your
my
question.
first question for you is, when you were in this construction class at Union Area ROP, did you ever imagine you'd be where you are today?
I wouldn't say where I'm at right now. My career has been super fast. Not typical for someone my age to be a superintendent and run large scale projects. So I'm one of the few that I would say has come up this fast, this quick. But I always had high expectations of myself, and so whenever I got promoted to foreman, and sometimes we still go visit Bill. We have a thing where whenever there's a major holiday or once a year we go eat with him at Black Bear Diner. That's something we do every year with a couple of the other classmates. So whenever I got promoted, I always gave him a call and say, hey, I just got promoted, or he'll call me and say, hey, how you doing? And so he always said, hey, I wouldn't expect nothing else of you. And so I always had high expectations for myself and others of myself. So I was like, man, I need to live up to what they expected of me as well. So, my answer is no, I didn't imagine myself where I'm at right now, but I knew that one day I would be here, but it happened super fast. Yeah.
So with that, what clicked for you that made you want to pursue this pathway, like, seriously?
The money. The money.
Okay.
It was the money. Yeah.
Did you, like, was it the money and the work? Like, did you have fun with what you're doing, or is it like, I don't want to be here sometimes?
No, like I always had fun. I mean, I always like building. Obviously, there's times where I'm just like, man, what am I doing? but it's paid off. Like now, I don't work with my hands anymore. I'm in the office, but sometimes I do wish I could go out and just build. Right, a lot of responsibility now, a lot of stress and planning that go into effect. And at the end of the day, I'm responsible for the whole job site. Right, so it is a lot of responsibility but it's been worth it. Like there's never a time. I've always said, like, man, if I don't do construction, I'll go be a cop, right? Which was my true dream job, was to become a police officer. But I'm happy where I'm at, so it's paid off. Yeah.
Well, I'll pass it now to Joshua.
So one of the reasons why I joined this class was actually because, just like you have an older brother who went to this same program, he joined the construction tech class.
What year?
2019 or 2020.
I was in here 2012 to 2014, so it's a long while about that.
And my brother now, he's an electrician, and he's on his way as a journeyman after like 4 years. And that made me interested in, wanting to join this class and seeing what it's about. And after joining this class, I liked it a lot. I like a lot of plumbing, carpentry, electrical, and a lot of other trades, but those main three are the ones that I enjoy the most. So a question I have for you is, what were some of the biggest challenges you faced early in your journey, and how did you push through them instead of giving up?
I would say that the biggest challenges was just being young, and like a lot of companies, a lot of good companies, like Rudolph and Sutton was a really good company as well. There was just a lot of old school people that didn't see the need of younger generation. So the problem that I had, actually one of the biggest struggles, was I moving up so quickly, like moving up in position. So I was a really young foreman. I think I was 21 or 20 when I became a carpenter foreman. I was still an apprentice, and so it took a while for the respect to kick in. But once I demonstrated that I know what I'm talking about, and I know how to do the work, a lot of times, and as a foreman, even right now as a superintendent, I'm not scared to jump in when there's a need of working. And so I think that respect came out, because a lot of times when a different company or someone else was struggling, I put my bags on. I helped them get through it. I knew a little bit of everything because of this class, drywall and whatnot. And so I was able to just put on my bags and get to work. Even if they didn't ask for the help, I knew they needed help. And at the end of the day, we all have the same vision, is to get done with the job. So again, it's just the team effort that I would say helped me. But yeah, it was the struggle was I would say until the last year, that struggle still been there. So again, just from a foreman and then to an assistant super, I was like, I forgot what date I told you, but I think I got promoted to assistant super when I was like 23, 24. So as a superintendent at 23 years old, like it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to get the respect as well. But again, I was able to gain it and continue to prove why I got promoted, and now I'm a superintendent. This is my going on my second year. So I got promoted to superintendent when I was 26. And so again, not typical. Yeah.
No, not at all.
So the reason why I got in this class is because in the summer I took this program called Cypress. It's in Oakland. Mm-hmm. So I would get paid for going over there. Mm-hmm. So that got me interested. Getting paid for the summer instead of just staying home doing nothing. But once I joined, I really love the carpentry over there and the plumbing. and they'll take us to unions, and I'll introduce myself to like the people that work there, and to the boss and all that. And then I looked into RLP because my sister told me, because she was in medical in 2018, and she told me about RLP and that I had this class. So in the summer I was getting like into it, and then I also wanted to get in because none of my family's in like construction or anything. So I wanted to be the first one to like do it. And my question to you is, looking back, how did this class or program specifically help you prepare for the real world of construction?
I mean, I would say just the experience, like the building experience, right? And you guys actually have more of an advantage than I did, because you guys are learning electrical. And I did a little bit of plumbing. Bill was a plumber, but we got taught a lot of carpentry. And then I would say we were building so fast that also the budget ran out. So that's why when Mr. Lopez said, "Hey, we don't have budget," I knew that was a call to action to me. Hey, we need to get him some money, And so I would say, like, just learning how to build was the biggest advantage that I took from it, and not just building, but like doing remodels. Like we actually fixed the office's bathroom because it was broken at the time. So the main little restroom that they have there, we redid it. We did the tile, we did the sink, and put a new toilet in there. And then we were going from class to class fixing stuff because we ran out of material, so we had to stay busy. And so I would say just learning how to build was what I took most out of this class. I mean, if you put your mind to it, you can build anything, right? And so like now, I could build a lot of stuff. I could take cars apart, dirt bikes apart, and build them. And it was just from skills and knowledge of this class that if you put your mind to it, you could do it.
So I have one more thing. If you could give one piece of advice to someone sitting in this class right now who's unsure about the future, what would that piece of advice be?
I mean, I would say the biggest advice that I would give you is a lot of times your family or loved ones will say, "Hey, go do this. It'll give you the most money. Go do that. You'll like it." Truly, follow your passion. Don't do something because someone's telling you, "Hey, go do it." If you don't like it, you don't like it, and you gotta be real with yourself and say, "Yeah, I enjoy doing this," or "No, I don't enjoy doing that." Sometimes the money's good, but it's not the only thing that matters, right? Truly find your happiness in what you do, and that will drive your success. Other thing is just represent yourself good, right? If you're gonna go anywhere in life, show up if someone were to show up to you, that's how you want to showcase yourself, right? So show up on time, show up with the eagerness to hear them out, to learn, and then when you're there, give it 110%, right? Don't waste anyone's time. And just, if it's not for you, no one when to say, "Hey, this isn't for me, I gotta go do something else." Except at the end of the day, you're just wasting your own time or someone else's time, and that's just a setback for yourself. So truly, just do what makes you happy.
All right. One thing that I think it's very important to mention is that you're a rare breed, sir. Right? I could see some of my students that do apply themselves, and you see that in them. Others, it's something you could nurture, and eventually, with the trials and tribulation in life, they'll get it. Yeah. They'll get it. But there's just some people that just know it. They believe it. They don't get things in their way, and they make it happen. Mm-hmm. And you are definitely a rare breed, sir. And I really wanted to highlight you today because not only is your success, unheard of, you know, at your age, and but you know, we'll get into the financials and all the cool toys you got right now. But I definitely want to talk about that. Not only are you making great money, not only are you loving what you do, but you're a man of influence. You know, and most people think they want to be famous. I want to be a person of influence. Now, what is influence? Influence is when you, for example, we needed materials, and you're right. Our budget isn't as strong as we'd like it to be, but we have to do what we have to do. And when you ask me what you can do, you know, and I was quick to send you a tool list. I mean, a material list. And having your influence, you went to a current company that you're building for, and because of who you are, because they wouldn't just give it to anyone. You know, they might give a loan, and that's very rare even, right? But they gave you to give to us, 4,000, here, I'll hold it for the camera here, you know, that amount right there, a $4,859 check with 21 cents. Okay, folks, that there is influence. And so I'd like to thank the company personally, and it is Vantage Point Data Management. Is that correct?
It's Vantage Data Centers.
I'm sorry, my apologies.
Okay.
Yeah, and thank you to them. It's going to go far. They were, because of them, we were able to go to SkillsUSA, show up, look, have our students ready for it. That we tooled them up, and it was a very great experience. So thank you very much. You guys are changing lives. What you're doing, you're changing lives. This is amazing. You know, thank you from the bottom of all our hearts for what you're doing and how you represent yourself.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So okay, let's talk about some fun stuff, man. What do you do for fun? I asked you for some. Hey, shoot me some pictures to just kind of get a like what kind of toys you got? How do you spend your money? How good is the money? How's life?
So life is good. I would say one of the things that I said last time when I came here is buy the house first and then buy the toys. So I was able to, working in construction, working a lot of overtime and double time, was able to save up a lot of money and buy a house. So I was able to, a week after I turned 21, I got the keys to my house, which was a huge thing. And then I did spend a lot of money on dumb stuff before that. And I would just say, like, buy yourself a good, if you're looking to, like, I need a car, don't go buy the most expensive car right now. There's always going to be someone that has something nicer than you. And it's not a competition. That'll just ruin you and make you lose your money. And so again, like, even cutting off those bad influences, once you leave high school, you're on your own. Those people aren't going to be there for you. You got to look out for yourself. And so that's one of the things that I did is, like, I had my small group of friends that I knew were friends that were there for me whenever I needed them. Cause everyone knows who those people are. And it's max one or two. If you can count more than 5, then you're lucky, or you need to reassess the friendship. But again, like, I just worked, and if they knew that I couldn't hang out, they understood why. Hey, I'm working. Oh, cool, he's working, you know. And whenever we could hang out, we hung out. And so I worked a lot, bought the house. I spent a lot of money on trucks and that I shouldn't have spent on. And so my recommendation is go buy it. If you're going to be in the construction industry, buy a truck. You're going to need a truck for tools and whatnot. Get yourself a truck. Doesn't have to be the nicest truck, something that will get you to work and back. Once you have enough money to where you're like, hey, I could buy myself a nicer truck, buy yourself that nicer truck. You deserve it. It's your money. You worked for it, right? And so that's one of my recommendations is save your money, buy something for yourself, a house, even land, even if you're comfortable where you're at with your parents, or they don't want you to move out. invest that money in land. I mean, you could go buy a piece of property somewhere for $7,000, $8,000, $10,000. In 5-6 years, that property could be worth up to $100,000. You just never know, right?
No.
And it's an investment that you're making. It's just sitting there. So I bought my house, and then I started buying the toys. So, I mean, I've had a number of toys. I got rid of some, got more, but anywhere from jet skis to a boat, to spending my summers every weekend at the lake, to buying an RV, to buying new trucks, to buying a brand new razor, and selling those and buying myself another truck and dirt bikes and a bass boat. And so now I spend my time. I've had fun. I bought a lot of cool stuff, but with dirt bikes come risk, right? Like I fell really hard. Ended up tearing my AC, or I forgot what it's called. It's a joint in my shoulder, so my shoulder sticks up higher than the rest of my body. But I couldn't work for about 2-3 months. And
wow!
And luckily, like we all have, and I was working the asbestos at the time, and we all have a benefit from being born here, that we know how to speak, write English.
Yeah.
And so the company at the time was like, hey, doesn't matter. I want you here because I want you to do the paperwork. And so I was still driving to work. I wasn't working. But I was able to stay busy for those 2 months because of my English and my writing skills, right? So again, we all have just that one benefit from being born here. And then so just again, with some of those things come risk. But I spend my time, fishing. That's like my biggest thing. A lot of stress at work. So whenever I can, which is every weekend, most of the time, is I'm fishing. I'm out there in the water trying to catch a big fish. Mostly bass fishing is my passion. And then I also like enjoy dirt biking and going off-roading. And so I go off-roading a lot. I go to Nevada. Actually going to Utah here next week, vacation with my wife. So going to be doing a little bit of horseback riding and side-by-sides, a razor, and going exploring a little bit. But again, it's you don't want to waste all your money either. You still want to have some in the bank. So it's spend it where you can, but also don't overspend. So
Nice.
So some of the toys.
Nice, man. Sounds like life is good, man. And you share it too. To come here and share this amazing wisdom with us, and knowing that you came from this class, knowing that it is possible, knowing that with determination, hard work, and accepting, maybe you won't start out where you want to be, but you don't give up. You just don't give up. You keep going, yeah, man, this is full circle for us. The goal with this podcast is to have my students later come back and tell me and sit in your chair and then just, and when I retire, maybe another student will take over my seat right here, and it's that stoic kind of, philosophy of, we got to help each other out, and it's not by, it's not always by, it's not, though, I was going to say it's not always with money, but, the check stands true, but it's with knowledge, I mean, you can, in fishing philosophy, right? Or you can give me a fish, right? But it is better to teach us how to fish. So we eat every day versus just eat that one time, man. And, brother, this is history in the making. I really appreciate you coming out. Any final words, any last message you want to, put out there for the students to hear? And,
I mean, I would just say that there's a lot of opportunities, out there. But again, it's like, if you hear them, take advantage of them. Because if you do good, that sets your future up. Right. So maybe we'll talk a little bit about the high school internship.
Yeah, you want to tell us a little bit about that, or do you want to do it off? Let's do it. Yeah, please.
All right,
tell us
so
about
just again, I sent Mr. Lopez.
I have the link.
The link to DPR's high school internship. which is something that a lot of companies don't do. It's something that DPR does do. And so we hire high school interns or high school juniors and seniors to join DPR for the summer and get paid to one. It depends on what construction career you want to follow, but it gives you knowledge of what we do, right? We have had 2 people last year that ended up, one of them wanting to be an electrician, one of them wanted to be a plumber. But we're a general contractor, and we still took them in so they could get that experience of what it's like. And so I would say take advantage of that and use the link. It expires actually on Friday.
This Friday it expires. So if you guys are serious, we're going to look at it after, and we're going to gather all our paperwork that we need to put in, and let's put in that application. I'm here. We're going to do it for those that are interested.
Mm-hmm. And it's really good. It pays $25 an hour, which is really good.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm.
And so it's for 8 weeks, but it'll give you the experience, at least to a job site or the office side for whatever career you want to pursue. That's an opportunity that's there. And if you want to join the office side of things and go to college and get a degree, we offer that program for college interns throughout their college career as well. So every year for summer, you could go work for us in the summer, and by the end of your college internship, if you're still doing the internship and you're doing good, it's because we like you, and then we'll offer you a job.
Oh, wow.
So right, like you have a job secured right as soon as you're done with college. The next day you're working for DPR. So it's something that's incredible. It's something that's great that we do. I don't know the salaries of starting project engineers, but I know it's good money, and again, you're working for a great company that's going to give you a lot of benefits, and free phone, computer. Obviously, you're responsible for those items, but it's something that could help you financially as well when you're not paying your own phone bill anymore.
Right. Nice. So I got the link, guys. We're going to talk about it. For those that are interested, let's look at it. Let's get on there, and we got a deadline by Friday. All right.
There is a lot of people applying, so apply. Mm-hmm. And then if you make it, look out for the email, look out for the Zoom invite, and I might be one of the people that's doing the interview as well. So
fantastic. Young folks, any other questions you guys want to cover?
Ask anything.
My question is, what do you think the purpose of life is?
Yeah, so the purpose of life, I mean, at least my life is to, so one is it's get older, get wiser, but also pass knowledge. Not see it as a competition, only as of getting better. And then also help others around you, right? It doesn't hurt anyone to help. Be friendly, doesn't hurt to be friendly. Yeah, there's people that will piss you off or whatnot, and stuff happens, but it doesn't hurt to be friendly, doesn't hurt to lend a hand. So I would say volunteer as much as possible, but be friendly. And then purpose life is to give back, right? I am a man of faith, and so everything, I always say this, God does everything for a reason. And so this right here, it's for a reason. And so hopefully, it impacts at least one person. I mean, if at least one person could take away this conversation, that's all that matters. So
another question I have is, what does a typical day look like for you as a superintendent?
Typical day for me that looks like a superintendent. So if my brother-in-law or wife watches this, they'll probably laugh. And so I get up in the morning. I hate waking up. I'm like, fuck, I gotta go to work. That's normal. Some days I get good rest and I'm ready to go to work. Most of the time I'm tired and I have to get up. But get up, get ready, go to work, drive, get in traffic, and then gets a job. Gets a job around 6 a.m. and I like to have a team meeting right at 6:15, and talk about the plan for the day. I like to involve others, and so you go over the plan, sit with them over a cup of coffee or something, and discuss the plan. They go out to the field and work, and it depends. Usually, my calendar is full of meetings, or it's empty, and I go walk the field. And when I go walk the field, I'm in charge of the schedule of the project. So I build the schedule. I have to make sure the schedule is hitting those dates. And so I go out to the field, make sure everyone's correct to what the schedule shows. If not, I'll take my notes and go back and start calling people. But I walk the job and kind of look around. I have people that work under me, so I tell them, hey, just follow up with this or call this subcontractor out the site. I make sure everyone has their personal protective equipment, PPE on, that their pre-task plan is written out, and so I like to check that. I like to also have conversations out in the field and just ask people how their day is going and learn a little bit more about them, and know their name. It just builds a connection, builds the culture of the project, and then I get back to the office, jump in a bunch of meetings, and all meetings are important. There's some that are not, I don't need to be on, but it's useful information, and so sit in meetings for probably most of the day, and then maybe in the afternoon have some time to go back on field and look at progress and see what there is, any updates and whatnot. There's times where stuff happens and we have to react, or like this morning someone hit a sprinkler head, and so I had to go see why they hit the sprinkler head and go up, take pictures and make sure it was clean and whatnot. And so it just depends from day to day, but my basic day is go to the office, talk to the team, walk the field a little bit, sit in a bunch of meetings, and then go back to the job. And most of the time, it's in the office now for me. Yeah.
And from there, like, what are some parts that you really love, like, throughout your day?
Parts that I like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I really like when I just enjoy the company I work with and the team that I have around me. Again, you're only as successful as your team is. And so if your team around you isn't successful, then you're not successful. So empowering those around you to be as good as you is what's good. So I like to push on my assistant supers and the foreman to make decisions and do their work. And they learn from that as well, but also spend a lot of time teaching them. And so I'll teach them scheduling, I'll teach them Bluebeam and markups and help them grow. I actually like that a lot, and it helps them out. And then like other stuff that I like, it's like, I mean, right next to my desk, I have a mini ice nugget machine from like the ones from Chick-fil-A. And then right next to that, I have a espresso machine. And so I could just reach over, make myself a coffee and get back to work. So I'd say like those things. We do get free lunches. So like we'll order like from a lot of different places and eat free food. That's why I'm fat. I wasn't always fat, but again, it's one of those things where it makes the job go smoother. It's pretty good. Yeah.
Did your wife think you work too much, or like did she ever complain about anything?
She used to. I used to work a lot. I used to work Saturdays and Sundays and like 12-hour days, and so she obviously like would say, "Hey, I wouldn't say she complained." So I've been here with her for 10 years now. So she saw my whole career. And so now she's like, you're just an office lady, you need to go back out to the field. But she just messes with me. She knows my work is different. My work now is more mental and I would say it's harder, even though the field may seem harder. It's again, a lot she says all the time that I'm always throwing numbers and saying that I'm in a meeting while I'm sleeping. So my brain is always working even if I'm sleeping. Yeah. Yeah. Any questions? No?
Well, brother, we won't take more of your time. You know, you're amazing. Let's have you back.
Yeah.
Let's have you back. Maybe one day you do the interview with the students or something. Yeah. You know, this is we're building a relationship here. This is going to be one of many.
Yeah.
I can't stress to the audience, to everyone watching, you're really a rare individual. As young as you are, the responsibility that you carry on your shoulders, and the way you carry yourself too. You know, and it's really a sense of pride to know that you come from this, you know, from this classroom, from these halls, from this philosophy of, you know. So Bill is an amazing guy, man, and it really shows that, you know, it shows with the kind of student that you can help, you know. And I think no matter what industry you would have got into, you would have 100% continue to be your best, you know. Yeah. So I guess that's the question I wanted to wrap into, right? Like, what makes you who you are? Like, what do you think? I mean, were you born with it? Was it, you know, challenges that you met in high school or with your parents, or, you know, I mean, what makes you the individual you are to show up early? To, you know, I mean, they give you the Connex, right? Okay. You could just be like, okay, let me just clean it up every day. But no, you just didn't clean it up. You organized it. You built the shelves. You separate everything. And when I imagined you saying you did that, I'm even looking at everything probably even being color coordinated.
Yeah.
You know, what makes that guy?
I mean, I would just say, like, just for me, it's just trying to impress people, right? It's like, not to the fact where it's like, oh, like, you want to, there's different ways of impressing, but for me, it's like, man, that he works hard. He's a good worker. And so, like, that's what drove me, is just to always be, I would say, also be a good, like, I also have to make a name for myself. And I think everyone does. And so just, like, whenever someone talks about you, it's like, yeah, I know who that is, and it's always something good, never something negative. Mm-hmm. And so, like, that's what drove me. And what was the second part to that question?
What builds you? You know, how do you now? Was that instilled in you, or do you think you were born with that?
I don't know.
Or how can we teach that?
I say we can teach it, because I've seen a culture shift, like, even in my team members, where we're all kind of empowering each other to make decisions. I was probably also, again, I'm a man of faith, so everything happens for a reason, right? We all have a purpose in this life. And so, again, it's one of those things where before I die, which could be whenever, I want to make sure that I give back as much as possible, and that everyone else took as much as me, because that could always go away, right? So just one of those things. Yeah.
How do you relate building structure of you know, big projects? I'm sure you've worked massive projects, you know, when you speak of Apple and you know, so you guys, and even data centers now, right? How do you take the lessons of building into your own life?
I mean, for that, it's just like, without a good, like, and this is where I think DPR is doing a great job. Is we're really driving that culture. It's without the right team or without the right foundation, nothing gets done, right? If the foundation is bad, the rest of the building could fall, right? And so you want to make sure that you have a one strong, solid team, and teach them what you know, not hold any information, and not look at it as a competition, more of like you're helping each other out. And then also, as you're building, there's always new challenges, and just to foresee those challenges coming and be proactive and not reactive. So plan ahead. We all know what's going to happen next, so just kind of plan ahead. And then also just at least for me as a leader, I want to be treated how treat others how you want to be treated. So that's why I always show up with respect and because I expect that same respect back. If I'm kind, if I'm talking to you, I expect that same thing back. And so a lot of the times in the construction industry, they call it if the tip of or the head of the snake isn't driving the same message, then no one else will follow that message. But if the tip of the spear is saying all the right stuff and trying to do the right thing, then everyone else will also do the right thing. And I've seen it from job site to job site, from something simple as the bathrooms being tagged and to where there is no bathrooms being tagged, right? There's clean bathrooms and again, and it's something simple as maybe you gotta clean the porta potties every day other than every 3 days, And it's just giving the workers that I came from the field, so I know what it's like to go to a dirty porta potty and so just again and it goes back to respect, right? Showing that respect to the workers so they could see that you truly care for them. A lot of our workers will do whatever it takes to get the job done. And a lot of workers, want to be recognized for it. And it's up to us to make sure that they're recognized and they're being looked at. And also, taking a step back and realizing that if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have my job if it wasn't for our workers. And so, again, companies like DPR wouldn't be successful if it wasn't for our workers. So, looking at it that way as well is huge. And it ties back into just the building and making sure that as long as the company is driving the same message and we have that foundation set, then the rest of the building can go smoothly.
Nice. The construction trades is a male-dominated industry, and it's changing. Adriana's going into the force, to the trades. Very proud of her. But it being male dominated, we a lot. Speaking from personal experience with my father and we're terrible at communicating, and there's a lot of guys that some do, some don't. They don't mean no harm, but they're also not willing to share knowledge. Some fellas out there that do it old school. They learn. They want you to learn the hard way. They put you through the ringer. I like how you guys are changing that culture. I like that, we don't, it's not, it was hard. It was hard for me, because a lot of the times you want to learn, you want somebody to share that knowledge. And instead of them saying, hey, look, let me show you how to do layout so that you can do your own layout, look at the blueprints, they want you to be a gopher, go for this, go for that, pass me this, go sweep. And I really love, and I could see it in you that you're not that, you're not that. And, but still yet you're a very resilient man. It looks like, and they think by holding that kind of ground, that aggressive ground, that you're going to listen to them, you're going to be afraid to get, what I mean? But I could see how, you're kind, you're caring, but, you don't F around, right? How do you maintain that? How do you, because, if you're a nice guy, there's a belief that people are going to take advantage of you, but then if you're a hard guy, they're not going to, behind your back, they're not going to listen to you. How do you keep that balance?
I would say I people know when I'm okay and friendly and talking to them. But they could also see it in my face and in my tone and voice when shit hits the fan and I have to talk to them about it. And they know when they need to listen and or when you take advantage of it. Take advantage, but don't let that opportunity go to waste. There's been a lot of times where I've had to lay off carpenters, apprentices that were older than me, and again, like a perfect example was I had a young apprentice. Can I say young at the time? I'm 21 or 22. I'm super young as well, but he showed up to a job site, and again, it's how you present yourself. He had his tool bags, but his tool bags were not cinched up. They weren't tight. They were all loose. He had no offense if that's what you could afford, but it's like you need to show up with good tools to know that to show, hey, this is me. This is how I like to work. I have good tools. This is my hammer. These are my tool bags. And presentation means everything. So show up to the job with some husky tool bags, and it's like for me, I came up. I spent my first check was buying all new tools, and buying the best tools because I wanted to be presentable, and so I gave him. I'll obviously give anyone an opportunity. So continue to work. He was there for about a month. And then about a month in, he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna take some time off," and for me, that's not good luck when it's an apprentice that just started a brand new company. In the first month, he's already asking for time off, and throughout he called in late. His car broke down, and I understand that, and so we're all human. Stuff happens. We have to move on from that. But when he said, "Hey, I'm going to take some time off and you're letting us go," and I said, "Guys, because I'm here on time. I show up every day. I'm ready to for work." And I told them, like, you showed up late to work 5 times in a month, and you didn't show up to work this day. And so I gave them examples why, and they see, and they were like, "Man, that's true," And so the latest one was he was probably 18, 19. Didn't ask for his age, but I told him, and the rest of the team told them day one, "Hey, you have an opportunity to be with a good company. If for whatever reason you need the day off or something happens, just call one of us and you'll be good." And so he was doing great. He was hardworking, and Thursday came around and he did not show up to work. Show up to work, didn't call anyone, didn't let anyone know. We're reaching out. I'm someone that always, someone's not there, I always assume the worst. And so I need to make sure that they're okay. And so I'll call and say, "Hey, like, are you okay? Did anything happen? You're good?" And most of the time it's good. "Hey, yeah, my car broke down," or whatever, but he wasn't picking up. And then sometime called one of my foremen and said, "Hey, my phone was dead and I couldn't call you guys, but I'm not going to make it in today." So that for me right there, it's like, that's disrespect, So it's like,
Yeah.
you had the chance. We gave you an opportunity. We called you multiple times and you didn't pick up, and it's 1:00 and now you want to call. It's like, and so he was let go, which is unfortunate because he had a good opportunity.
Yeah. You got the opportunity that most of us would wish for, and the one you wanted, right?
Exactly.
The one you wanted, and just it could happen just like that. And I think sometimes it's those lessons that really wake us up, or then you realize, what, this isn't for me. Let's leave with this question. We're running out of time. Class is about to end, and I really want to do a little photo shoot with you. Also, I want to let you know we built that for you. That America, that Old Glory right there. We built it for you. That's for you. That's a gift for your office, built by the students here. So thank you. And so when did you realize college wasn't for you? Did you ever think of going to college? Have you taken college courses now? How that route happened for you? Because here everyone tells you, "Oh, college, right?" Thank God we have programs like ROP, where they say, "Hey, college is an option," but so are blue collar work, the trades,
For me, like, I had really bad grades freshman and sophomore year. But then once I joined this class, I had to get good grades in order to take this class.
I see.
And so junior and senior year, I think I maintained a 3.5.
Nice.
And I knew I didn't want to go to school. So it was one of the things where I was like, I don't want to go to school. Now looking back, I wish I would have taken some college courses. Because again, if you're going to join the trades, one day you might be in my seat where you're running the job as your superintendent, and your grammar is not always there. Your email etiquette's not always there. How you talk to, like, I'm talking to CEOs of DPR. And so sometimes I'm like, man, I wish I had a little bit more knowledge or a better way of presenting myself. And so, like, if you have the opportunity, even if you work in construction, take some courses, take some English classes. It is good for you. One day you'll be where I'm at, and then you're really like me and like, man, I wish I could take some classes. If you're thinking about, I'm gonna take a break for a year and then I'll go to college, that never works. So you're either gonna go to college or you're not. I've seen it happen from time to time where everyone says I'm gonna take a break and then go. And then again, if you're pursuing a college degree that you're not going to be happy with, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. It's going to waste your time, waste your money. Go do something else.
Yeah, I was the same way too. Now I take college courses here and there. Online. You can take college courses online, but I take them based on what I'm doing now. So yeah, and it's always further education. Like, furthering your education is just like tooling up your tool belt. You're just tooling up the mind. Quick question: what's your favorite tool brand? What do you like?
Milwaukee.
Yeah, this is a shout out to Milwaukee.
Milwaukee's the best.
Milwaukee's the best, brother. We'll leave it with that, man. You came here, you showed up, and to the class, and keep showing up, brother. This is your home. We're really grateful for everything you do. We're really proud for you sharing your story, and you came full circle, brother. Full circle.
I do want to add one thing.
Yes, sir.
And it through the college side as well. So there is a field engineer program that if you sign up for construction management, you want to do that, and you want to become a project engineer, and then you see, hey, I actually want to become a superintendent and run work. There is a program called the field engineer, and you can become a superintendent that way too. So it's not just through the trades and working your way up; it's through college as well.
All right. Well, thank you so much, brother. All right, guys. Thank you. That is the first episode of the Stoic Builder Podcast. How about that? Thank you so much. All right. Thank you, Brother Pedro. All right. That's a wrap.